Okay, so Toy, when did you first find out about your hearing challenges?
Oh, I was in my mid-20s, living with my grandmother at the time, and my grandmother would call me from the back room or whatever, from the front room, and she knows that I didn't hear her. It was a 3-bedroom house, 2 bathrooms, so I had to hear her because it was right behind, where she would call me from was right in the next room, and I didn't hear her. So anyway, she decided to make an appointment for for the ear, nose, throat doctor, and so the doctor discovered that I'm allergic to dairy products.
So dairy products can cause hearing loss?
Yes, I noticed that when I eat ice cream. I love ice cream. When I eat ice cream, drink milk, and I used to drink milk a lot, it would dry out something here, and then I would go, and I go, do like this right here, because I'm trying to scratch in between the ears and the nose. So it would fume, it would flame up, and then so as time grows, that's how we discovered. And they start giving me different medications for that to help the swelling down and all that. As time grows, we discovered after doing several MRIs that we went inside, and so my eardrums have hair particles. There's no hair particles.
Oh.
There's no hair particles. That's when I said, okay, that's when we start working on the hearing aids. Hearing aids are very expensive. So that's how.
Absolutely.
Right. Very, very expensive, even back then. And that's how we found out that, okay, now I need to go to the second stage.
And there are different qualities of hearing aids, right?
We're talking just like tampons. Just different.
Right, and the better they are, of course, the more expensive
Different.
they are.
You got the cheaper. You got the $25 ones in Walgreens, where you can just stick in your ear and it looks like Frankenstein's that come out the neck. They stick in the ear and you can see it, and it's only one color, and that's the manila color from like Folgers. That's it.
And I know that my father had hearing aids that were worth $2,000. I mean, they were really expensive, so I know that they're expensive.
These are the Siemens, and they are $2,700.
Right, those
For
are
cheap.
And they have little batteries in them, right?
They have batteries in them.
Right.
Uh-huh.
My dad had similar to that. So, did your doctor ever talk to you about getting cochlear implants, or was your hearing good enough?
Oh yes, my hearing is, for one, I'm a diva, and I'm not going to shave my head for that. The cochlea is where you have to shave this part of your head, or whichever side, and they implant it behind your ear. They stick it up in here and behind your ear, so it's like a magnetic implant, and then something goes over it, like look like a hair barrette. Based on some of them, look like a little piece of metal. They got them now to where for us divas to have it, it look like a big barrette or a flower, something like that, whatever style you want, and then it goes like this in your ear.
But the fact is, it would
It's
still
not strong
impede
enough.
your.
It's not strong enough for my hearing.
Wow.
It's not strong
Okay.
enough for my hearing.
So right now you're dealing with hearing aids, and do you foresee a future of that for a long time?
I'm halfway. Let's say 100%. This is where I am. This is half. I'm right underneath that half of losing my hearing.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. Are you, and I asked you this the other day when we were just informally talking, but are you going to be interested in, or are you feeling like it's going to be necessary for you to learn ASL, American Sign Language, at some point?
Yes, I'm going to school for that. That's my next step after I finish the courses I'm taking right now at Houston Community College. I want to take the ASL classes, which is American Sign Language. I want to take that at University of Houston. I've always wanted to go to University of Houston, and they have a great program for that.
Oh, wow.
That's where I want to take it there. I want my degree to say University of Houston, as opposed to,
Absolutely.
Yes.
A good 4-year university.
Hello.
You want your
Yes.
diploma to
Yes.
come from there. Absolutely.
Yes.
Have you attended any deaf community events?
When
at all?
Oh, I'm getting there. I have attended several seminars, and the funny thing is through DARS. DARS is Directive Assertive Research Services, and it's pretty much with the state. And they help you get hearing aids, they help you find jobs, they help you build your confidence. Well, I'm not an introverted person, so
No, not at all.
There was no confidence to build in me, but I still went because I wanted to find people like me who has the same issue, has the same problem.
Have you ever heard of ALDA?
No.
ALDA is I'm going to send you a link to it. ALDA is an association for late deafened adults.
Okay.
And the website it's chock full of information for people who became deaf later in life. It has links for where to get hearing aids and community events, social programs.
Oh, so it's one of those organizations that help people with hearing.
Right.
Okay.
And for people who weren't born deaf.
Right. Okay.
Although they're welcome to everyone, no matter when they became deaf, it doesn't matter to them. But it's just an organization that is available for people who started out as hearing people and became deaf later in life.
Okay.
They don't isolate themselves to that demographic, but it's just something for people like that that's available. I'm going to send you the link because I visited the website and it was fantastic.
Awesome.
And they have social programs. They have minglers, like get-togethers, like social hookups for people.
I'm glad you mentioned that because there's over 10,000 profitable and non-profitable organizations like that.
Oh, in Houston or in the United
alone.
States?
In Houston alone.
10,000 for deaf and hearing impaired people?
For deaf and hearing.
Wow.
Alone in Houston.
How did you find that out? You just researched it on the internet one day, or?
I had to do my homework because one day I'm going to meet them. Actually, I want to work for an organization like that. So by you telling me about ALDA, I'm interested because one day I can use that. It's good to get your foot in the door before you get paid. That way when you come time to apply for that job, bam, you grab for it. That's what you have to do these days anyway. So that's a good step. I would like to check it out.
Well, when you start your sign language lessons, I think I might want to learn sign language too because we interact with deaf students at the college where we work, and I think it would really be cool for someone other than a classroom sign language interpreter to be present for these students. When they walk up to the front desk, if either one of us can even sign a little bit, that will not only bring us into the community, into what turns out to be a really interesting and loving and varied community. But it also makes them feel supported. And students need to feel supported. We both know this, we're both students. Okay, so to recap, you became aware of your gradual hearing loss in your early 20s when your grandmother took you to the doctor and they discovered that because of dairy products, it was inflaming your ears and you had no hairs on your eardrums. And as time went by, your hearing loss became more acute.
Right.
So now you're at the point where you're using $2,700 hearing aids and you're reading lips. You also have decided that eventually you're going to, just as a matter of communication, you're going to need to learn sign language, right? Do you feel, can I ask you one more question? How do you feel about that? Are you happy about that idea, or is it an irritant to you that you have to do it?
Glad you asked that question. Going to seminars where I'm the youngest and you have someone who's 78 years old, and I hear hearing aid jokes like, sometimes I don't feel like hearing what folks have to say. So I got to thinking about it, at 70, am I going to really care? Or is it going to matter? But I just want to do it to keep this stimulating. Because when I get 65 to 70, I'm still want to keep this stimulating up here. So I want to be active. So I'm into the healthy thing, the eating healthy, and I know that if you keep this stimulating, I'll probably live to be 80 to get on everybody's nerves. So yes, as far as
You can
learning,
get on my nerves as much as you want.
hello.
Well,
So I want to learn. So yes, I think I feel the need. I don't. If I don't want to communicate with someone or not I don't want to. I don't want to be because I don't know how. It's because I don't feel like it. So I want. Yes, I need to learn sign language.
do you feel like once you learn, that might open you up to an entirely different community of people that you might find a really great camaraderie with, perhaps? Or it might even open you up to
Other
social
things.
things that
Of what is part of my goal.
yeah.
It's going to open up to a whole other world that is funny. That I want to make all people who have hearing impaired not be introverted. You know, because technically, the opposite need to learn from us. If we listen, we have no choice. We observe.
So
because we have no
great,
choice.
and you also said that you have at times felt, even in the workplace, especially in the workplace, felt discriminated against to an extent because people make comments to you like, "Oh, you don't hear well," and all that, and it's not done in a nice way.
And knowing that I have a hearing impaired, as I expect, especially since I work in education, you know, we're all with the educators. I expect different. I expect as a team, as opposed to making comments. So when they make that comment, I'm gonna come back with another comment to help educate them on my impaired. So someone say, well, you don't hear what I said because you're not talking to me correctly, or your words are you're mumbling your words. You don't say your words clear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you talk for me, if you call my name from behind, Touy, and I don't hear you, oh, she's hearing impaired.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but that's why sometimes if you're not facing me, I'll put my hand on your shoulder.
Because you care.
And yeah, I do. I care very much.
You care that I hear you.
I do.
It's completely different as opposed to someone who knows I'm hearing impaired. And why would you talk to me from behind after I told you several times that I'm hearing impaired? Even though I have my hearing aids, I'm not focusing on anyone I'm talking to but the person I'm talking to.
You know what's really interesting? Because I've met you and because I'm interested in learning ASL and because I'm taking this class, it's opened me up to wanting to communicate with you better, and I'm sort of actually, in a way, at least right now, preparing myself for communicating with you in a different language in the future.
Okay.
Because I know that eventually you're going to learn it, and I need to learn it too so we can communicate, and it might even be fun. We have our own secret language. But no, I mean, I want you to know I do care.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate it. I do.
You're a warm, a loving, intelligent person who deserves respect. Absolutely.
I appreciate
And the fact that you are so aware of your future involvement in the deaf community, that speaks volumes about you. So, in conclusion, Miss Touy, thank you very much for interviewing with me. You've opened my eyes to a lot of things, so thank you, and you've helped me with my class.
Awesome.
And I look forward to a future of learning sign language with you and even attending deaf community events with you.
Awesome, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Touy.
All right.